All right. The committee will be in order. ABC Gaming, we're going to start with some, we've got two bills administratively that we're going to handle. They're going to be, the patrons have asked us to strike. House Bill 2634, Delegate Wilt, and House Bill 2651, Delegate Jones. And speaking to Delegate Jones's bill, the idea there is that we're going to send that to the subcommittee to study the feasibility of establishing a Virginia Gaming Commission, which meets through the end of November, so that we'll still have a number of meetings over the summer and be able to address that. And in fact, we'll be able to address some of what Delegate Wilt has in his bill as well, regarding the use of charitable proceeds, the adjusted gross receipts. So with that, do I have?
So move.
Second.
It's a recorded vote, so we're gonna the clerks. Can we do it in a block?
Yeah, I think yes. Just to see a second. It's 2634.
And 2651. Clerk will open the roll. Okay, the clerk will close the roll. Those on a vote of 8-0, those two bills have been stricken from the docket. That leaves us with one bill that's not mine. And I don't see Delegate Fagan, so what we're going to do is start with mine. So I am going to turn over the gavel to Chairman Torian and present, starting with HB 2166.
Thank you. Chairman Krezak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2166 has a substitute. I move to substitute.
Second.
All those in favor of the substitute?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The substitute in this bill amends the definition of breakage to the following. Breakage produced by live and simulcast wagering will be amended from 10 cents to 1 cent on the dollar, which we call penny breakage. Right now, we have dime breakage. So I know a lot of you are like, what the heck is he talking about? But it's, if you go to the horse track, you would know about these this breakage situation. What happens oftentimes if you bet, $2 bet on number 3 to win, and number 3 wins, and he was coming out at 3-1, you would think you would get $6, but you don't oftentimes you get a little bit more because of the it's a pari-mutuel bet, and you're betting to get with all the other people in the at the horse track and also people online. So you may win $6.38. With penny breakage, you're going to get $6.38 if we pass this law. If we don't pass this law, you would just get $6.30. And then we are also changing the breakage definition from historical horse racing, which are the electronic historical horse racing machines that you see at the Rosies and the Rose. They will remain at 10 cents on the dollar. The total amount of breakage produced by both live and simulcast will be distributed as follows. 70% will be used for capital improvements and 30% to the Racing Benevolence Fund, administered jointly by the licensee and the majority and the horsemen group that are racing at license race meeting, to be dispersed with the approval of the Commission for Gambling Addiction and Substance Abuse Counseling, recreational, educational, or other related programs. Basically, that's exactly what happens now. But the breakage for historical horse racing shall be divided 70% to the Problem Gambling Treatment and Support Fund and 30% to the aforementioned Racing Benevolence Fund. And that's a compromise we had with the Virginia Equine Alliance and the Racing Commission. So I think we have peace in the valley there, and I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the committee? Anyone out in the audience who would like to speak in favor of House Bill 2166? Anyone to speak in opposition of House Bill 2166? If not, the committee acts on a motion. It's been moved and seconded that we report House Bill 2166. Members, please cast your vote. The bill reports 8-0. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. House Bill 2493 raises the minimum age for participating in fantasy sports contests, online fantasy sports, which is legal in Virginia, and Virginia Department of Agriculture is the regulator, and Texas Hold'em poker tournaments, which are hosted by qualified organizations, from 18 to 21. So currently, those two, currently the law is that they're 18 years old, and this would align with the age requirements with the minimum age for gambling in casinos and reflects national trends as 33 states already require participants in Texas Hold'em poker tournaments to be at least 21 years of age. And keep in mind, at the casino, the poker's 21, so this would move it up to 21 in both. And also online, when you do sports betting, it's 21. So this would bring the fantasy sports betting to the same number at 21. So that is the bill.
Any questions or comments from the committee? Anyone in the audience who wants to speak in favor of HB 2493? Anyone who wants to?
Chairman, members of the subcommittee, Walton King. On behalf of the Sports Betting Alliance, we appreciate Delegate Kriesig and have had a lot of conversations about increasing the age from 18 to 21. We overall support that concept, but we're still concerned about the existing daily fantasy operators. There are certain operators out there that are betting against the house, what is also known as prop bets, which is a concern, and it's occurring in the daily fantasy operations. And so we would like to take a look at those illegal activities currently going on. But generally, we support the concept of moving the age up to 18 to 21. Thank you.
Anyone to speak in opposition to HB 2493? If not, the committee act on the motion.
Move to report. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we report HB 2493. Members, please cast your vote. Okay, we're going to take a voice vote. You ready?
He's not ready.
You try to bring it up?
Delegate Torian,
Aye.
Delegate Price,
Aye.
Delegate Bennett Parker,
Aye.
Delegate Seabold,
Aye.
Delegate Knight. Yes. Delegate Leftwich. Aye. Delegate Moorfield. Yes. And Chairman Kriesig.
Aye.
All right, reports 8-0.
The bill reports 8-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last bill is House Bill 2498, which seeks to establish the Virginia Gaming Commission as an independent agency to oversee and regulate all forms of legalized gaming in Virginia, except for the Virginia Lottery, which will continue to operate the state lottery and the iLottery. And the bill comes at the recommendation of the Joint Subcommittee to study the feasibility of establishing the Virginia Gaming Commission, which I've served on as Vice Chair. We've been meeting it's a multi-year effort, a couple of years now. And this also, prior to that, it really was started with the JLARC report. And I want to thank our independent consultants, Guidehouse, who've been there helping us all the way to get to this point with extensive meetings and input. I think half the people in this room have attended many of those meetings, and lots of stakeholders and state agencies involved to get to this final legislative proposal. It's quite a big bill. And as you all know, there's clear benefits to creating the Virginia Gaming Commission. The overarching benefit for the creation of the Gaming Commission is a coordination of focus. You think about it right now, you can go online. We just talked a little bit about some of the different kinds of gaming, but you can go online and you can bet on sports. You could bet on the Commanders last week. Had you bet on them, you would have lost a lot of money. But we got an Eagle fan up here. But you could bet on the Commanders, and you could do that legally through one of our sports apps. The sports betting is regulated by the lottery, and you have to be 21, and they pay a tax, and it's well regulated, and they also pay 2.5% into the problem gambling fund. Or you can go to the fantasy sports app, also legal, but regulated by another regulator, another government agency, the Virginia Department of Agriculture. And they pay $8,600, correct me if I'm wrong, but somewhere around there, less than $9,000 fee per year to be regulated. And that is, as you know, it's 18. Hopefully we'll move it up to 21. And it's very similar to, as you heard, testimony is similar to the sports app, maybe too similar perhaps, but that's a bill for another day. And you can go, a third app you can go on, you can bet on a horse race anywhere in the world. Whatever horse track is open in the next 24 hours, you can go online and you can bet legally in Virginia online. And I believe you have to be 18, maybe 21. Hopefully it's 21. That might be another bill for next year to move it up to 21. But that's regulated by the Virginia Racing Commission. And that's just 3 apps. There's also Lottery has an app, the iGame, their iLottery app. So you can just see the kind of disparate treatment that we're giving here in the Commonwealth. The goal really is to create a go-to regulatory agency that will benefit from the coordination of efforts from multiple areas. With the VGC, Virginia could respond more effectively to new and emerging types of gaming. Just this session alone, we've had iGaming here. There's been talk of another, I think there's a Senate bill coming over, a casino expansion, a 6th casino. Skill games have been bandied about, and charitable gaming expansion as well. As of today, these matters are evaluated in a vacuum. The VGC would not only give us an authoritative body to study these matters, but also make recommendations so that we are evaluating gaming as a unified whole, not a series of one-off events. The VGC will allow Virginia to remain properly committed to its equine, both live horsing and the HHR, and charitable gaming industries. Although each current gaming regulatory body makes efforts to combat problem gambling right now, it's not done in a coordinated or unified manner, and it leads to kind of siloed and inconsistent approaches. The VGC will have the capability to facilitate a consistent statewide problem gambling strategy across gaming types, and it will provide state and local law enforcement, industry, the public, and other stakeholders with a single point of contact and information for gaming-related matters. This centralization also will help coordinate with the Virginia State Police Office of Gaming Enforcement, which combats gaming-related criminal activity. To ensure smooth operation, a transitional body will be formed within the Virginia Lottery, and over 1 to 2 years, a fully consolidated Virginia Gaming Commission would exist. Virginia needs order to an increasingly chaotic and regularly changing gaming landscape. The creation of the VGC is the best way to do so and should really be a bipartisan legislative priority. I can go, if it's the will of the committee, or if there's questions, I can talk about some of the actual specific changes and kind of line by line, but it's up to the chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I think at this time we will take any comments or questions from the committee. Hear none. Are there any folks out in the audience who would like to speak in favor of HB 2498?
Mr. Chair, members of the subcommittee, Ben Trainum with Hancock Daniel on behalf of the Bristol Casino. Speaking today on behalf of casino stakeholders, we support the Gaming Commission. Appreciate Delegate Kriesic's work on this. We think it promotes operator integrity, will maximize player protections, and overall improve gaming in the state. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, David Jones, representing the 128 VFW posts in Virginia and the Moose Lodges all over Virginia. I want to say thank you for your hard work to establish this multi-year effort. Thank you very much, and we support this bill.
Afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Barrett Hardiman on behalf of Grover Gaming. I also want to thank Chairman Kriesic for the work on this bill. It has been 2 years of a lot of hard work and listening. We also support the bill. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, lady and gentlemen members of the committee, B. Gonzalez, on behalf of the Sports Betting Alliance, the sports books in Virginia, we are very supportive of this concept and very supportive of the Gaming Commission. I think it's well on its way and been very impressed with the detail that it's taken to get us to this point, and we're looking forward to being a part of that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chairman Krizik. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Matt Hortenstein. I'm General Counsel for J&J Gaming. We are a distributed gaming company in the 11 states that operate distributed gaming in the U.S. We operate in 7 of those states. We likewise support Chairman Krizik's bill. It's very important to set up an appropriate regulatory structure for all forms of gaming, and all the segments of the industry can be properly regulated and under that umbrella. So we very much support that and support your hard work on that. Thank you.
Anyone to speak in opposition to HB 2498?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Jeb Hannum. I represent the Virginia Equine Alliance. The Virginia Equine Alliance represents all of the racing and breeding interests in the state. So the flat racing out at Colonial, the harness racing in the Shenandoah Valley, the steeplechase racing, which is so unique to the state, and the breeders. I just would like to say at the onset, just as a reminder, in 2015, the racing industry in Virginia was really on its knees. It was questionable whether the industry would survive. And because of actions from the legislature, Virginia is one of the few states in the country right now where the racing industry is growing. And we're doing extraordinary things thanks to the measures that the legislature took in 2015 and then again in 2018 with the approval of historical horse racing machines. So I just wanted to thank the legislature again for doing that. We really appreciate Chairman Krizik's work on this bill. We support it in principle, but it has provisions in it that risk all of the good work that's taken place over the last 10 years. And what the bill currently does is it guts the Racing Commission. So Chairman Krizik made some of the language a little bit stronger. It was originally the Racing Commission would be simply an advisory body, and now there's additional language that's been added, and we appreciate the chairman doing that. But it still doesn't get to where we need to be for a robust body to regulate racing. And I can't emphasize enough that as the language currently exists, it really risks the entire racing industry, not next year or 2 years, but in 10 years or in 20 years. So we feel very strongly, the racing industry, that the Racing Commission needs to maintain its traditional role to oversee parimutuel wagering. So that would be the wagering that takes place at the racetrack and online. We understand that the HHR machines would come under the new body for regulation, and we don't have issue with that. But there still needs to be a link with the HHR machines and race days. So what I mean by that is you don't want to have a track operator that's able to operate the HHR machines without a link back to the race days and the approval of the Racing Commission saying that the race days and the quality of racing is at the right level. So right now, the link between HHR and the Racing Commission is severed. We'd like to see that brought back. Delegates Krizik's bill has language whereby there's representation on the board, but those racing representatives don't have votes.
All right, so we're not going to litigate the bill here on the floor. We register your opposition to the bill, and we thank you. I'm going to move on to the next speaker.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Chair, my name is Cliff Williamson with the Virginia Agribusiness Council. We stand to oppose this as well. Mirror the previous speaker's comments. Our biggest concern is the viability of the long-term equine industry's health. Spillover effect within successful horse racing industry trickles into all aspects of agribusiness across the Commonwealth, and decoupling the financial link between HHR and opportunity for race days is a major concern. We appreciate patrons pushing this, and we appreciate the steps that have been taken to address our concerns, and we hope to have opportunity to do more moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we call for an action on this bill, let me just make a quick comment. Gaming in the Commonwealth of Virginia has grown immensely over the years. And what we are seeking to do is to have some level of governance over the industry And to Chairman Kresak, thank you so very much for taking the lead on this. Thank you for all your hard work. And it is our great desire to have an industry that is robust, but also has some rails around it as well. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you so very much. Committee act by motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we would report and refer House Bill 2498 to the Committee on Appropriations.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we report and refer to the Committee on Appropriations, House Bill 2498.
And Mr. Chair, that's with substitute.
And with the substitute. Thank you. Members, please cast your vote.
Delegatorian.
Aye.
Delegate Price.
Aye.
Delegate Bennett Parker.
Aye.
Delegate Seabold.
Aye.
Delegate Knight. Delegate Lefwich.
Aye.
Delegate Moorfield. Chairman Krezik.
Aye.
8-0.
That bill reports 8-0.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, back in your hands, sir.
We have one last bill, Delegate Beggins. There he is.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the subcommittee. I'm here to present HB 2747, which provides a framework for electronic gaming terminals, or EGTs, in Virginia. The key provisions include a future Virginia Gaming Commission would license all EGT-related entities and use a centralized system to monitor compliance and revenue. EGTs must adhere to the use of a random number generator and defined payout rates. The number of terminals per location is limited, and all devices must be connected to a centralized monitoring system for real-time oversight. A 20% tax on all gaming revenues, and localities will receive some revenue. Additionally, small businesses will receive revenue shares, and licensing fees will supplement the enforcement. And finally, municipalities can prohibit EGTs, and protocols will be required to be implemented for preventing the use of underage play. HB 2747 looks to create a balanced system for localities that will be favorable for EGT while prioritizing transparency. With that, I stand before the committee.
Thank you, Delegate. So you just heard the discussion and debate on the last on the Virginia Gaming Commission bill, and so I just want to make it clear that what we're going to have to do today with your bill is send it to continue to be discussed, and we're going to have that special subcommittee, which has the long name, right, Ashley? What's our subcommittee called? The Subcommittee for
To study the feasibility of establishing the Virginia Gaming Commission.
We need an acronym for that.
Yeah, we need an acronym. We need to work on that. But anyway, we're gonna continue to work on that, and I want to thank you for being succinct and for your work on this. I mean, you've kind of set a tone for how an electronic gaming terminal marketplace could be established and regulated, and I appreciate that thoughtful approach to addressing that. It's those kind of good best practices that we're looking for in an electronic gaming market, but we've got to go through the process. Let's get the Virginia Gaming Commission stood up, and the other thing I do like about it is your approach to underage gambling, and that you can really make sure that underage gambling doesn't happen. But anyway, let's bring it to if we can have the committee maybe make a motion to table this, if it's okay with the delegate, and gently lay it on the table. But we're going to have a letter to my committee that I'm on, this one that Ashley just mentioned, and we'll talk more, and we'll let you come to us and over the summer as we go forward. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we would gently lay House Bill 2747 on the table.
Second.
All right, we're going to try to open the rolls. All right, the clerk will close the rolls. The bill is gently laid on the table, 8-0, but you've got a lot more work to do. Thank you, Delegate.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, subcommittee members.